A new Pentagon study shows that the United States empire is beginning to crumble. That's right, the Pentagon is actually admitting that the United States is an empire and that it's beginning to collapse, and as a result, something must be done about it. It's saying that the world order that the United States established after World War II is fraying and may even be collapsing, and these are the exact words that were used by the Pentagon. And then as a result, the United States would lose its position of primacy in the world. Now, the solution that has been proposed by the Pentagon is, of course, more military expansion, because that's literally what empires do. More propaganda, more surveillance, all of this strategic manipulation of perceptions, it sounds a lot more technical than propaganda does. And of course, more military expansionism. Now, having lost its position of primacy since the end of World War II, the U.S. now inhabits a very dangerous, unpredictable post-primacy world, whose defining feature is a resistance to authority, meaning the people of the United States are becoming more questioning of their leaders than ever before. Other states around the world are questioning the supposed divine right of the United States to lead the rest of the world. In other words, the U.S. empire. And that's what's happening here. The world is changing, and it's not changing in a way that's good for the U.S. empire. Now, this report comes out as people deny that the United States is an imperialist power. They deny that the U.S. is building an empire, and this is mostly Americans who are saying that. And yet, here we have the Pentagon admitting that the United States is an empire, and that it's warning about it coming to an end, and is advocating more global militancy. So to be at this point and deny that U.S. imperialism exists, it would take an incredibly dishonest person to do that. And this also comes at a time when it's finding more and more inventive ways to get the American public behind the imperialist wars that it's carrying out. For example, making tools out of the Kurds in Syria, the Rojava, and then getting leftists to cheer them on because, well, because they're Kurds and therefore they can't be wrong, kind of thing. And they get another one, the group Tequila. It's a group of trans, queer, whatever kind of people that are essentially fighting for a U.S. empire. And once again, because it's imperialism with a rainbow flag on it, we have to cheer it on. And of course, if you don't, then it means you're transphobic. Now, this is a natural function of capitalism. An empire, its markets, access to resources, cannot infinitely expand. Capitalism, whether that be Austrian, neoclassical, or Keynesian, is all built on an infinite growth model, and that's not possible. Capitalism cannot infinitely grow. There are very real material borders, like a finite limit to the amount of resources, to things you can mine out of the earth, and there's a finite number of people in the world. There's a limited number of people that you can sell things to. And what we're seeing is that it doesn't really have to reach an absolute physical limit. There's an economic limit to it as well. And there's a political limit, which is also very important, because that is a part of Marxism. There is a resistance to U.S. imperialism that is beginning right now, and it is pushing back against the U.S. Now, in cases, it's other struggling imperialist powers like Russia, China, etc. But the point is, it's not infinite. It is definitely very finite, and the imperialist empires are beginning to push their borders up against each other, particularly in places like Syria and Ukraine. Now, this is not like what Lenin predicted with a reoccurring pattern, cycles of world wars, because we're looking at something very different with the advent of nuclear weapons. The mutually assured destruction principle changes warfare, and it changes warfare considerably. If there's a mutually assured destruction, neither side really wants to be the one to fire the shot, because it would mean the end for both. It means much of what we understand of imperialism needs to be updated for the new era that we live in, and that these struggles between competing empires now take place in proxy wars. For example, in in Syria and Ukraine right now are prime examples of that, and that this is the new way imperialist struggles are going to be carried out, which is kind of like how it was during the Cold War, the advent of nuclear weapons changing that. There was no direct war between the United States and the Soviet Union, but there was proxy wars. And that's a part of the new reality that we have today. And one of the things it tells us we need a new analysis of imperialism. But this confirms beyond any shadow of a doubt that no matter how much you want to deny it, the United States is an empire, and that empire may be coming to an end. Thank you for watching. If you like this program, then please head over to my Patreon page and set up a monthly donation. It's your donations that keep this program running. Also, if you would like, please rate, comment, subscribe, and share in various social media.